Awesome. And you're sharing your screen right now, right?
Yeah, you are able to see my screen.
I can
There you
see
go.
your screen. And welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for joining what promises to be an amazing session. I've got Arun over here, so I'm going to do a quick intro and really hand it off to him. Duncan, if you can keep admitting people from the waiting room, please. And as some of you might have read in the bio, I keep riffing a lot of thoughts and ideas and things. Arun is kind of my go-to guy for what's new, what's happening, and also for suggestions on hip hop music in the northeast of India and in the south of India. So I get a lot of my music recommendations and my AI recommendations from him. And when I heard that he was doing an AI workshop for various people, including teachers in Hyderabad, if I remember right, I
Okay.
just said, hey, we should do a workshop together over here, and here we are. So Arun wears a lot of hats besides the red one that he's wearing right now. So he's an author. In fact, that's a copy of Arun's book. It's called Failing Well. If you're into product management, I can't recommend it enough. He certainly earned his stripes. He certainly earned his stripes. Arun is the head of Riot Games in India. He's worked with Microsoft before this and with Google. So you could say he knows a thing or two about product management. And as the title of his book says, about failing well as well. He spent about 15 years across those companies. He's worked on products like Outlook, Teams, Android. And the last 6 months, he's been dabbling a lot with the AI. And as he puts it, telling everybody around him about the amazing things that he's able to do with it. He's also into travel, good food, wine, and a lot of other things as well. So, with no further ado, Arun, over to you. Take it away, my friend.
Hey, thanks so much, Lux, for that intro. And nice to meet all of you. So we'll keep this very lightweight and casual. Definitely, raise your hand, ask any questions that you might have. I titled this the Thought Whisperer after sort of bad pun on the horse whisperer, but really the idea is how can you speak to your AI to get it to do what you want. I'm going to be doing a bunch of examples across various tools. I'll keep it fairly fast paced, but before that, yeah, so that's me. And author, AI enthusiast, sports music, some of the things that Lux said. And many times people do an intro and you're like, yeah, that's what they say about themselves, but is this really true? So with that, let's just dive into our first example, which is, can you tell me about the person Arun Rajappa? Let's try it out. I'm going to do this on, let's say we'll do this on Grok. Right. Claude desktop, there's my Grok screen. That's probably it. So let's do this on Grok. What do you know about the person? Well, you're able to see this, right?
Yes, we can.
Checking. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this and see what Grok has to say about me. Hopefully, it'll say nice things, or at least it won't say things different from what I introduced myself, right? So, but I'm jumping in with an example just to say that you can use AI in a variety of ways, right? And so I have just found myself using AI and these tools in every possible scenario. So let's see what it says about me. There are multiple people. This one right here is the country manager for Riot Games, so that checked out. Microsoft and Google, so that checked out. So good job, that on staying true to this.
Hey,
Oh,
Arun,
it
I'm
talks
just
about.
sorry to interrupt. I'm just wondering, is there a way you can increase the font size on Grok right
Oh
now?
yeah, perfect. There you go.
Thank
Is that
you.
better?
Thank you. That's a
Yeah,
lot better. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, so it clearly says that Microsoft checked out, Google checked out. It talks about Riot. It talks about my startup. Yeah, it also says that interest in reading, music, gaming, movies, sports, food, and crows for some reason. But I have written a lot about crows, so that's probably where it picked it up from. So it's interesting that just wanted to jump in with an example of how you know you can use AI in all kind of scenarios. And just tell me if these fonts are fine too. I can zoom in more if you need. So that was example one, right? Which is just sort of verification of what somebody says about themselves, for example. So I use ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, all of these quite a bit. Just to give you an idea of that, like my usage of ChatGPT in April, that's how it looks. I think I had like in the 15 sessions on April 29th. I mean, these are not per day, these are more like per week, but a lot of sessions on the desktop app. By the way, just sharing also that with ChatGPT now, you have what they call memory. So it actually can generate this report for you of how you've been using ChatGPT. Yeah, and some of the things that I've been doing, as you can see, AI prompting, book ideas, travel planning, preparing for this workshop, things about music, things about religion, how I have engaged. So this is something that ChatGPT gave me. Yeah, it's sort of total 180 messages. These are the themes. And yeah, so if you see, this was really my prompt. Give me a statistical summary of my ChatGPT usage week on week. ChatGPT, as I said, now has memory. This actually is unique to ChatGPT. Like if you try this on Grok, you'll see that it doesn't work. Again, I'm just going to jump into that example. So let's create something in Grok and say, give me a statistical summary of my Grok usage week on week. And I'm going to say, don't use the browser, right? Otherwise, it'll start trying to get this from sort of public web pages, uh, any tools. Right? And there you go, it's still searching. Let's stop that. I'm going to say,
Okay, Arun, while it's pulling that up, I just wanted to let you know.
yeah.
If you wanted to run any questions for the audience, just give me a heads up and I'm happy to share my screen and run those questions. Like if you want to know, I know you're showing Grok and ChatGPT and you wanted to ask folks what platforms they use, just give me a heads up and I can share my screen and we can run that as well.
Sounds good. I'm going to do this example on Grok and ChatGPT, and then I'll pause for you to run that. Yeah?
That's good.
So let's try again. So yeah, Grok, as you see, is insisting on searching, so it's definitely not working out. Yeah, and here it says, I'm sorry, but I don't have access to your personal Grok usage data. That's because Grok doesn't actually have history of what's what you've asked it before, even though it knows that here I've kind of got all these different things that I've chatted with it. It can't access this. ChatGPT in a recent update made this available, so I can actually say, give me a statistical summary of my ChatGPT usage week on week. I don't need to say this, and let's see what it does. Hopefully, yeah. So there you go. So ChatGPT last 4 weeks, messages sent, right? So it's created a nice table um, on what I've been discussing with ChatGPT. So I just wanted to show you that what does this memory in ChatGPT practically mean? And I'll come to another example shortly. But Lux, over to you for a sort of a query on or question on who's using what.
Yeah. So just consider me your human assistant, non-AI enabled, and just tell me what question you want to ask. So you want to ask people on what platforms they're using,
Yeah.
is that correct?
What platforms are they using? ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, anything else? I'm just curious.
Are you able to see my screen, Arun, right now?
Yeah, I am.
And is it full screen for you?
Mm-hmm.
Super. So folks, if you can just type in the Zoom chat as to what platforms you use, and feel free to type multiple responses. So if you use ChatGPT and Grok, give us two answers over there. And Arun, I'll leave it to you to give commentary on the answers that we see out there. We're
Yeah.
already seeing them come out.
So ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, DeepSeek. That's interesting. Uh, yeah, Perplexity. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the standard set of tools. So let's go back to my screen. Are you able to see my screen, Lux? I need to share again or
You'll just need to share again. Yeah. So we'll need to kind of toggle between us on sharing. Back to you.
Let me share.
Sure.
Just
We can see your screen right now.
you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's great. I think the tools that we saw like correlate very well with I think what I've been using as well. So there's ChatGPT from OpenAI, Gemini from Google, Grok from Twitter. Then there are a bunch of other ones like Perplexity, which is specifically good for sort of as a Google search replacement in some sense, though it is more powerful than that, and we'll do a quick demo of that. Claude, which is very good for coding, DeepSeek, which the claim to fame was a few months ago. It showed up in the news everywhere about how it's this LLM from China that's overpowered, so to speak. There's Mistral. And the interesting one is Meta AI, which was announced and launched earlier today. I'll just give you a demo of like each of them, not even a demo, I would say just to click through each of them, they're all very similar. But just to give you a sense of it, let's start with the newest kid on the block. This is Meta AI. If you can see my screen, again, I'll zoom in a little bit. But you can see that it has a very similar thing. It has Canvas, Imagine for pictures. You can make attachments. And it has a few default plans, like default prompts, like help me write a lesson plan and help me write a packing list and so on. Right here, we have the images that people are generating, so that's pretty nice to see. And let's just ask it some question. So I'm going to ask Meta AI, where should I go for vacation in summer? Should I go to Bali or should I go to Chiang Mai? Right. And yeah, so the nice thing with Meta, as I tried it earlier today, is it does do this turn-by-turn conversational. It asks you questions. So I want to do some hikes, right? And then of course it gives its point of view. Again, just to show that like you have a new option as well if you want to. To this, you sign in with your Instagram account or your Facebook account so that Facebook gets to know much more about you than it already does. But yeah, that's the idea with Meta. To click through the others really quick, there's Gemini from Google, very similar, Canvas, deep research, so on. This is what I spoke about Claude. So Claude has these different modes like write, learn, code, life stuff, Claude's choice. So they have some different versions. Meta AI seems to be free so far. Yeah. And by the way, I saw somebody say Notebook LM. I love Notebook LM as well. And we can touch upon that perhaps if we have time. This is DeepSeek. Again, looks very similar. Uh, we looked at Grok. So while we are here, let me just show another thing with Grok. Let me just start a new chat. So one of the things that's interesting with Grok is, and we'll touch upon many of these, but they have this thing called personas, which again was a lot in the news a few weeks ago because they have like a romantic companion, an unhinged comedian, loyal friends. So unlike the other AI tools, you have like personas for your AI. The not a doctor and not a therapist were meant to be doctor and therapist in case you didn't figure it out, but just for them to sort of cover their ass. But like just to give you a sense of unhinged comedian, you can sort of tap on that. The default it defaults to drop a funny hot take. But yeah, people who clap when the plane lands are the same ones who give a standing ovation to a microwave for eating the hot pocket, right? So it's quite rude. It says content will be objectionable, inappropriate, and offensive. And you can interact with it like you would with any other chat, but you can expect offensive and inappropriate responses in case into that kind of stuff. Right. So, but just to go back, these are the different LLMs that are popular: ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, Claude, DeepSeek, and Meta AI. There are other ones that you know are also sort of, I would say, popular or you know that get used. Notebook LM was mentioned, but the two that I kind of specifically mentioned are Copilot and Claude Desktop. These are desktop apps. So if you've read about or heard about something called MCP, by the way, are you able to see my Copilot app? I'm not sure whether I shared
We
it with
can, yeah.
my.
You're able to see
Yeah.
your Copilot.
So Copilot is basically Microsoft has integrated with OpenAI. So it's not Microsoft's LLM, but really Microsoft with a front-end desktop experience on top of ChatGPT, you could say. But you can use it the same way like you would. You know, the thing I end up using Copilot a lot for is because it's integrated in Windows 11. You have a shortcut key. I think it's Windows C. I bring it up all the time to do troubleshooting. So, you might see that I have a bunch of coding things. Earlier today, I was searching for how can I mirror my phone to my Windows PC because I wanted to do some demos. So I use it for a lot of Windows related debugging. So I might say something like, I am not able to activate Windows. Help with that. This is a problem I'm having. Even though I have an original copy of Windows, it's not allowing me to activate. So this is something I've been using Copilot for. Right? Um, yeah, and very similarly, Claude Desktop is another desktop app. I use it. It's just a sort of mirror of the web app. But as I was saying, if you've been reading about MCP, which is called Model Context Protocol, it's a way for these AIs to use other tools like query a SQL server or connect to third-party apps that you can do from these desktop apps like Claude or Copilot. I'm not going to go more into this. I just wanted to mention them because you also have like these desktop app options. But really quick, right? So these are the tools, but then you also have a variety of ways in which tools to use. Yeah, that's a good question, Lux. So typically, I end up using ChatGPT for pretty much everything. Of late, I've been reading that Gemini is much better and more powerful. So I have been using it, but I just don't find the conversational style as easy as ChatGPT. I end up using Perplexity. Oh, we forgot to see Perplexity. Let's quickly go see that. Right. So this is wait, I had Perplexity here. So I use Perplexity as a search replacement. As you can see, it has a bunch of news that's going on. Let me zoom in again a little bit. But I might say come to Perplexity and say something like, yeah, like I'll just show you the last query I had. Like I was trying to decide which headphones I could get, and I said compare boat rockers 450 with 460, and it gave me this nice table after searching the web. It has images, videos. It also the nice thing, the really brilliant thing that Perplexity does is it links to all the sources it had. So unlike ChatGPT and other AIs, you can actually see all the sources it's pulled its information from. So I use Perplexity quite a bit as a chat replacement. But otherwise, I'm pretty much all in on ChatGPT for everything, Perplexity for search, and Copilot just because it's on Windows. That's my sort of workflow. But coming back here, so the outputs that you can get from these tools is not only text, but you can get tables like you just now saw with Perplexity, right? You can get images. We'll touch upon that. You can get detailed documents. You can get code, which again, like we can touch upon if it's in interest. And there's what I would call modalities, right? So typically we end up interacting through text only, but you can also submit images, submit using voice in ChatGPT, upload attachments, and do something around tasks. This is actually not a modality; it's more of a output. I'll come to that. And yeah, so site sources is something I'll touch upon, but yeah, that's a very handy one, as you said. Jason. And then there are models, right? Daily use, reasoning, research, coding. We'll cover these really quick in a bunch of examples we're going to get into now. So hold your horses, just jump into the chat if you have anything to share. But right now we're going to do a bunch of examples. So let me start by going back to ChatGPT and showing you the power of the history. I would say I'm just going to be a little bit vulnerable here because one of the things that I think ChatGPT is amazing for is, yeah, see if I have, yeah, this is a good query. But as I said, I'm going to be, right, which is knowing what you know about me, tell me my top three strengths and top three blind spots, right? Um, because you've had so many conversations with these LLMs, you can see the direction in which they are going. So it actually analyzes all the chats that you've done with it, and it's able to kind of pull together from across the conversations I've had. Recently, I was having a conversation about Nietzsche with ChatGPT. So it's, yeah, I think these look very nice. But I think the blind spots, let's look at, yeah, so paralysis via over reflection, idealism versus execution, creative fragmentation. So when I was looking at this a few days ago, I was like, wow, this is too close to the truth for comfort. But I find the fact that ChatGPT has this history, it's empowering and it's scary, right? So that's just one on the text conversation. I wanted to give an example of what you can do in terms of the history itself. Now, really quick, I'm going to show you this modality of voice. It works better from the phone. So this is my phone screen that you're able to see. I use ChatGPT a lot from the phone, and I find that my phone use of the ChatGPT app is very different because I can just have a long conversation. Both these icons at the bottom right, one that looks like a mic and one that looks like a waveform, both of those are related to audio. I'll try and demo both. The other one would have demoed better if I wasn't wearing a headset, but let's give it a shot. I'm going to do the first one. So the kind of conversation I had just yesterday, I'm going to replay that, which is I tap on this and then I say, I'm thinking of going for a family holiday in June. We want to do hikes. As a family, we really like, great food and long hikes. We are right now kind of undecided between whether we should do Indonesia and do Bali and Komodo, or whether we should instead go to Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai in northern Thailand. Um, can you tell me what the weather will be like in June, probably third and fourth week, and also tell me what's going to be the differences between these two destinations. Also tell me what the approximate flight fare would be, and then I can just hit submit. And ChatGPT does an incredible job of converting this to text. See whether it did. Yeah, and it's probably just the demo gods, but usually it's done converting the text by now and helping out. Um, yeah, that's strange. I've never encountered that before. Let's give it another shot. I'm trying to decide on a family vacation later this year in summer, in third and fourth week of June. As a family, we love adventure sports, a lot of hiking and outdoor activities. We are trying to decide between Indonesia. Oh, okay. It seems like I'm connected to the wrong network. I don't know why. Let's try once more. Okay, last try on this. I'm trying to decide on a family vacation in summer, trying to decide between Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai in Thailand, and Bali and the Komodo Islands in Indonesia. As a family, we like the outdoors and good food. Give me a comparison between these two options, both in terms of the temperature at this time, as well as what we could be doing in terms of activities and the flight prices. There you go. So it's done that, and then I can hit enter. And I just find that the voice translation is just really good, and it does a fantastic job of that. So this has become like a very primary modality of how I use ChatGPT, just with voice. So and it does a really good comparison of everything as you would see. It gives pictures. Um, yeah, and as you can see, it's also doing like a fairly comprehensive comparison between these two places. And so this is something that I've seen to be very useful, and I would highly recommend it. It works really well. I won't let it complete. Just to go into a new chat and give you the example of the other voice mode. What that is a conversational way in which you can talk to ChatGPT and it also responds in voice. As I said, because I'm wearing headphones, you may not hear what it says, but we can just do something simple. I tap on it. What's the weather like in Bangalore today? Tell me, is it going to be raining through the rest of the week in Bangalore? And then I can, oops. What's the weather like in Bangalore today? Tell me what the weather is like, and is it going to be raining through the rest of the week?
Right now in Bengaluru, it's mostly cloudy and about 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees.
Yeah, I don't know if you could hear that, but it responds with voice. So that's
We
something
could, yeah.
that, yeah, that's something that I also use. So both modalities work pretty well. The second one is the hands-free mode, so it works well if you're driving and so on. While we are on these modalities, I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff that you can do with images. I'm just going to continue the demo on my phone. Actually, why don't I just do it on the desktop? So that might be easier to see. Mm, so coming back to the desktop, here's here's ChatGPT. And what I want to do is I've got some images, right? And ChatGPT is amazing with images. Grok is pretty good too, but this is a picture of something I got free with my delivery today. It looks like some muesli thing. So I'm just gonna say, can you create a brand photo shoot for this product image? Uh, and yeah, so as you can see, it says Tata Soulful Masala Muesli. Yeah, and there you go. So it's kind of done that. Let's just do that again. Say create image, and then say, can you create a brand photo shoot? And let's do that again. So one of the things I'm not doing that here, but just wanted to sort of share with each of you is for each of these kind of prompts, if you tell ChatGPT, create a plan, like it created a plan here, and then you give this plan to the create image, it does a much better job of the outcome of what gets produced. But let's see whether it does a good job of this. You saw the picture I took. Um, let's see how it does. While, yeah, let's actually let it complete. While this completes, if you have any questions, just pop into the chat. But yeah.
I actually had a question, Arun.
Mhm.
So I see that you use Grok quite often, which is not something I hear a lot of people using every day. And you did mention that you use ChatGPT the most often. What's your reason for choosing Grok so much besides the personas and some of the fun stuff that it does?
Yeah, I don't use the personas much, but what I end up using Grok for a lot is it's the most conversational is what I've found. So it just feels like you're speaking to a friend. So I end up having much longer conversations. By the way, look at this, right? So this was the picture, and this is kind of what it's generated as a brand photo shoot, which is just incredible. It's picked
Wow.
up the right package, it's kind of straightened it, it's added all these Indian spices. Yeah, I'm just going to go into the better prompting skills as well right after this. So this is kind of what I've seen really amazing with some of these image capabilities. But just to switch over into what you were asking, and like I think we touched upon some of this, like the different outputs, images. We'll cover some of these, like you can generate long research articles and so on. And models, just to touch upon really quick, in each of these, like especially ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, you can get into what they call models, like what advanced reasoning, coding and visual reasoning, and so on, which makes it very specific to the task at hand. So usually when I want something coded, I switch to this model and then I ask it to code. Yeah. But now I'll just jump into what you were asking as well, Robin, which is how do I get better at prompting? And So I'm just giving some very simple rules of thumb to start with in terms of just to get an intuition of how you can do this, right? Which is some rules of thumb. I know this came up in the news a few days ago. I think Sam Altman had said that OpenAI is losing millions of dollars because people are saying thank you and please, and that makes no difference to the GPT. So you can avoid thank you and please. It's quite ingrained in me as well, but I've stopped that. I think asking the AI to role play an expert is a very good tip. So if you say, imagine yourself to be an amazing product manager or something, and we'll get into specifics around that. Giving lots of background context is super useful and breaking it into many small steps. All right. So Lux, what we're going to do is we're going to get into a lot of, maybe next 10-15 minutes into picking one example and deep diving. So maybe you can ask people in the chat what topic they want, and we can just use the winning wheel to pick one. Yeah, I can't hear you, Lux. I think you're on mute.
I'm just sharing my screen right now. Can you see it?
Yeah. Not yet.
Able to see it now?
Not yet. Still.
Let me just share it again. I don't know if you're still sharing, but you might need to just stop your share for a sec.
Okay, stop share. Yeah, I've stopped share.
And you can see mine now?
No, still no.
Someone else in the chat, are you able to see my screen? Just want to see if
yeah,
it's just...
I can see.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, I can't see that.
So I think it might be the tab on your on top.
Okay, yeah, I got the tab. Yeah, I got the tab.
Cool. So you got that coming in and talking tiles as well. But if so, Arun, can you repeat the instructions? We've got a few coming in anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, like anything that you want to use ChatGPT for at work, we'll just take it as an example and dig deep into it.
So you got a couple there. One is for creating a blog spot for active learning in the workplace. You're able to see those, right, Arun? The
yes,
responses
I am.
coming? Okay.
Yeah.
And you can pick one. I mean, we can spin a wheel and pick one randomly, or you can just pick one which we can workshop, which you choose there as well. That's perfectly fine too.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the things that are coming in. Yeah, I think the one that had the learning one, what was that? Are we able to see that?
Sure. I'm just going to stop this for a second.
Hey, I like this one. To design webinars from topic to outline to detailed content to full script. Give me an example of a webinar.
I have a vested interest in doing that too. So
yeah, give me an example of a webinar, Ron.
Did you want Robin to put it in the chat or unmute and
yeah, just maybe unmute or like in the chat, either works. Okay. How to speak up when you lack confidence. So let's take this and kind of workshop this. So I'm just going to use ChatGPT, and let's just start with. Okay, I need to share my screen again. Let me share my screen.
I'll stop my share. Yeah,
Yeah, and let me know if you're able to see my screen.
we can. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. You're seeing what's on the agenda today.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna just start off with the simplest version of this, right? I want to do a webinar on right. Um, can you help? Right. So this might be sort of super basic way of approaching this. Right. I just want to, as I said, workshop it through the stages. Um, and yeah. So as you can see, it's got like some ideas already of the webinar title, the goal of the webinar, suggested structure, opening 5 minutes, right? But it's kind of literally, in some sense, thinking too much for me. It hasn't asked me any questions. It's not asked me for like what I'd really like to do. Um, so it's pretty good. I mean, like just as a default, it's not bad at all. But we can do better, right? So let's now go back here. So I think just using this, um, role play an expert, give more context, break it into many small steps. So let's just do this, and then I'm going to go into some frameworks. But to give it, yeah, role play speaking coach who has many years of experience in teaching people public speaking. And then I can say I want to do, oh, this is the context part, 45-minute webinar on craft. Now, as like you said, break it into many small steps. Give me a detailed plan of how the webinar will be uh, for 60 minutes in 10-minute chunks. Um, don't tell me any other detail at this time, right? So this kind of a prompt where you've given it some context and what's the thing, and I've said 45 minutes, but I've said 10-minute chunks. So let's see what it does with that. Right. But now you see it's gone into warm welcome, why speaking up feels hard, the confidence myth, what speaking really is, right? Tiny speaking muscles, start small, start safe, right? So it's gone into some thing. And as you can see, and this is where we'll come talk about hallucinations a bit. I'd said a 45-minute webinar, but it's kind of gone off and it's gone all the way up to 60 minutes, right? And we can talk about why hallucinations happen. This is a hallucination because it didn't understand that 45 minutes was my boundary and it just defaulted to 60 minutes, right? While we are on this, I just want to show one thing. I can just create in ChatGPT and so on. Can you move this to, and you can type front slash and canvas. And canvas is kind of like now on ChatGPT, Grok, and other places, almost a document style on the right side, which you can download as a PDF or you can do other things with, right? But now you have this right there, and the advantage with the canvas is I can edit it, right? So I can go ahead and say my webinar on speaking up. Yeah. So I find Canvas to be a very useful tool in ChatGPT. But now let's, given the time as well, I'm just going to jump ahead. As you saw, like we could have just improved it prompt by prompt to say, role play an expert, now context, and different steps, right? But here's where I think I'm going to spend like 2 minutes on hallucinations. I think hallucinations happen when like the AI kind of misunderstands what you're trying to do. I think somebody had mentioned it in the chat, but stating cite all your sources, be as truthful as possible. Say I don't know if you don't know the answer. browse the web to verify facts, check your answer and give a confidence score. All of these are good sort of add-on prompts or add-on to prompts to help avoid hallucinations. In this earlier one, we could have probably said, please check the time, right? And it might have done a better job. Please check the time that it's exactly 45 minutes, right? Now, I'm just going to go into frameworks and kind of maybe close soon after this. But here are some interesting frameworks. I'm not going to cover all of them in too much depth, but I want to give you a sense of these, and I'll leave you with these also as a sort of takeaway. But these are the kind of frameworks that are that take this basic idea, right? This idea of asking the AI to role play an expert, giving context, but in a very structured way, right? So to give you an example, one is called the CoStar framework: context, objective, style, tone, audience, and response. To give you an example of that, you can say, imagine you're a 10th grade teacher, explain space travel, use a clear and engaging style, which is excited and curious. For an audience of teenagers who are not interested in space travel, what I'm looking for is a 300 word summary, right? And this is the CoStar framework. So I'm just going to show you really quick. Um, we'll kind of come back to workshop this if we have time. But yeah, start a new chat, right? And you can kind of see that it's come up with like a 300 word summary, hopefully, of something that's engaging, clear, explaining space travel, right? And so that's one of the frameworks that's super useful. It's just a structured way of thinking about how to give it the context, what explain the objectives, so on, right? Really quick on some of the other frameworks because I do want to complete that workshopping of that interesting idea. Is you can say role, task, format. Like an example of that might be you're a social media manager at Brooklyn Zoo. Explain away the gorilla escape, a Twitter post with ambiguity and disinformation, right? Something that you could ask for. Or before, after, and bridge. I'm a 1200 chess player, which is the before state. I want to get to 1800 ELO in 6 months. That's the after state. The bridge just give me a detailed plan of what to study and how to get there. Right? That's another useful framework. Or you can have a framework like CARE, which is context, action, result, example. The context is we are a rocket ship startup in Bangalore. Create a tweet announcing our upcoming launch. The result we want is to get 15% engagement rate on our tweet. But our last tweet, something good's coming soon, got only 8% engagement rate, right? So that's kind of another framework. There are others, right? Role, input, steps, expectations, task, act as, and goal. The point I wanted to make is that if you understand that you give the AI a lot of context, break it into small steps, ask it to role play an expert, you're in a good place. Like just as a lark, I said, hey, let me make my own framework, right? And so you can just make your own thing. So I just named it great goals, roles, examples, action, and tone, right? So you can just roll your own framework and become famous for this framework, maybe. But the point is that you just very clearly specify in step by step what you're looking for, right? So let's give it a try. So I'm just going to workshop this right here. Let's take CoStar, right? And so this is what we're trying to do, right? Which is so context. I am a public. Yes, I will share this with you. I am a public speaking guru with 20 plus years experience in coaching people how to speak up confidently. Right? So that's the context. Objective, I want to get a detailed webinar plan for my webinar. Speak up, get that frog out of your throat. Right? And the style, it should be engaging and fun. The tone, I am an expert, so I want to sound uh, like an expert and not be casual. Audience, the audience is teenage boys in the age group 14 to 16, and response, give me a detailed two-page plan as a PDF. Um, First, show me this plan in Canvas. Right? So this is the kind of thing that CoStar thing can really help you with, right? And now let's go in and go back to our chat. I think we had something here. Speak up confidence tips. And we have this history of what we did. As you saw, the first one, this was kind of the structure. It didn't have any context. This one became a little better. Oh, by the way, here I didn't put the time. So for my webinar, and here for the hallucination, uh, make sure this is exactly a 45-minute plan. Please set your timing again. And let's try this out now. So hopefully now we can get a better plan. So it's got the audience, it's got duration. Right. So the nice thing with these frameworks is you can look at it and you can say, hey, I'm trying to do something fairly detailed. And so let me pick this framework. It can really help me with what I want to do. Right? Yeah, so now you see it's got to the 45 minutes. Let's see whether it does more than 45. I hope not, but it's at Q&A. Yeah. The frog only wins if you stay silent. You've got something to say. Let's hear it. Right? So it's come up with a plan. It's got like details. I could now ask it for things like how do I run a webinar and so on, right? But what I really wanted to workshop with all of you was this idea of these frameworks, these different frameworks. But you can also craft your own and kind of think about it. How much time do we have, Lux? I think I want to kind of maybe leave some time for Q&A, but
We got
we
about
have like
9 minutes. 9 minutes more.
Sounds good. Yeah. So let me just kind of close with a few things. I'll share a couple of things here, right? So one is there's this whole idea of going meta, especially if you're interested in prompting and like how to improve at prompts. The best thing to do is to ask ChatGPT, how can I craft a better prompt, right? So rate my prompt on a scale of 1 to 5, then improve it by at least 2 points and give me a new prompt, right? So let's just try this. All right, so let's just go back to ChatGPT, start a new chat, and I'm just gonna say, how should I become better at chess? You know, now, it's going to give me something. I'm just going to stop this and say, uh, let's just repeat this in case. So it's rated it as 2 on 5. It's clear but too broad and generic, right? So improve prompt target 4 plus, specifies your level, adds a time frame, requests a structured actionable outcome, includes clear, right? Yeah. Can you give me this better prompt? Right. So the beauty of ChatGPT is, you know, you can just use it to create your better prompts. Right? You can also say, take this prompt and improve it using the CoStar framework or using the RTF framework or BAB framework. All these frameworks are known to ChatGPT, or if not, you can definitely tell that this is what CoStar is. You can also kind of learn how to get better at prompting. Like, give me 3 suggestions on how I can improve this prompt. Imagine you're a prompt engineer who knows the inner workings of ChatGPT, right? So this is kind of what you can do to get better at prompting. Just use ChatGPT itself to coach you and train you, right? I'll share this with all of you later. Um, but really to close, and then I'll open it up for any questions or anything people want to touch upon, is when Lux was telling me, hey, can you do this? Yesterday I was thinking, okay, it'll be fun if I've been doing a lot of what they call vibe coding, which is building up apps using AI. So I built out this website. You can all sort of see it, have it later, and refer to it. But yeah, and like shout out to Lux and Stream Alive here. But built this out in a few hours yesterday with just a bunch of different prompts in the style of a mentor or a guru. So it has like coach, right? You're my systems alchemist. Just deconstruct my life as if you're optimizing a spacecraft. You can look at things for content, for marketing, uh, for productivity, right? And you can also create your own prompts. It will just save it in your browser. You can filter by prompts. You can see everything related to research. By the way, this is something I use ChatGPT a lot for, so I'll maybe close with that example. But yeah, I do use this website. It has a bunch of different interesting prompts that I've been using myself, and I thought I'd share it with all of you. Um, yeah, you can also favorite prompts. So the way you use it is you can just copy this and then go to ChatGPT and sort of paste it here, right? So, or if you're on the phone, you can just hit the share button and share it with ChatGPT app if you have it. So that's this app. Uh, yeah, let me close with that. I think we have some 5 minutes for questions.
Wow. I'm just echoing stuff that people are saying in the chat, my friend. This is seriously, I learned a ton of things. So
Thanks, Lex. Yeah.
this is fantastic. And just to reassure everybody, you are going to be sharing this document
Yes.
as well as that beautiful resource that you put together between this time yesterday and now. And thank you for creating that. And it just gives us a control C, control V approach to prompting.
Yeah, I mean, most of those prompts, by the way, are just written in a very fun style. Oh, I forgot to mention the most interesting thing. The way I got all these prompts is that I asked ChatGPT to generate a summary of the prompts I have given it. Then I told ChatGPT, imagine you're a thought whisperer, right? A guru of prompting. Can you take all my prompts and turn them into this different sounding prompts? Then I asked it to categorize it, and then I asked it to kind of give me a markdown file with all these prompts. So basically, to say that I just used ChatGPT to create all those prompts based on what I was doing. So, like you can probably see here yesterday, I would have thought whisperer prompts, right? So this is the prompting that I had done to get all the prompts where it came up with these supercharged versions that you see on the website, right? So I uploaded a PDF. The PDF was something it had generated.
Wow. This is as meta as it gets.
Yeah.
What did you finally use to create the website?
I use something called Google Firebase Studio. So it's just one of those, what they call vibe coding tools, which allow you to just prompt, and create the website. So I used a bunch of prompts to create the Thought Whisperer website, and then I deployed it. Right? So if people want to learn more about vibe coding, all of that, I'm happy to share. I'm just for reference, I'm on Twitter, my Twitter handle is pretty simple. It's @uppa, and my email is rajappa@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, want to chat, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to chat.
That's very kind of you. Hey, I want to ask people for one thing though. So, folks, if I'm just going to share my screen, so I don't.
Yeah, let me stop.
All right. If this was an earlier era, we'd be giving you an NFT for this. But hey, folks, if you can just react with an emoji in the chat for what you thought of this session, it's just a little digital memoir for Arun. And then we're going to pick one person at random from all the people who participate and give us a little emoji over here. So just put an emoji in the chat, any emoji, except the poop emoji. Are you getting it? Oh, I think something broken on the emojis thing over here. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but I see a bunch of ones.
There it is. We see it
Yeah.
coming in now. Yeah, it's finally coming in. Yes. Man, yeah, I think everyone's hair is blown. A lot of new things, a lot of new ideas to think. I mean, right from simple stuff like using voice to prompts to using these frameworks and all of these. And again, folks, for all of you who attended, we'll share the resources with you, including the document and the website that Arun shared over here. Um, and if any of you are into product management, I think we're very happy to give a copy of Arun's book as well. So I'm just going to pick someone at random from here. Anyone who's participated in that thing right now. And look, if it ends up with someone at Stream Alive, I'm just going to go anti-clockwise to the next person over there. So
Very well,
Tina's at
Sheila.
Stream Alive, so I think she's doctored this. We're going to go around and give it to Jason over there. So Jason, if you can email us at marketing@streamalive.com, we're happy to. If you're into product management, we'll give you a copy of Arun's amazing book. If not, we'll hook you up with something else. Rest assured, we'll make sure you're happy. Yeah. Arun, this was fantastic. We're right on top of the
Thanks
hour.
so much.
And
Yeah.
and I think we need to make this a regular feature, man. I mean, more and more people need to learn this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks so much. I think we were a bit rushed towards the end around the frameworks themselves, but happy to clarify anything. Just reach out to me and we can chat more. I had fun doing this, and thanks lots for inviting me. Thanks everyone for participating.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Feel free to unmute yourself as you leave. And thank you for joining us. Hope you join us for future sessions every Wednesday, mostly at 11 a.m. Eastern. We rest assured you learn something interesting, something new, entertainment, education, often a combination of the two, as we just saw over here today. So hope to see you in future Stream Alive events as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.